Hi everyone, if you guys are catching the play, what we're doing today is we are advocating for these artifacts. We're out here in the city of Smithfield, and we've been at it for a few hours now, and I just thought to just got a phone call. That's all right, they can wait. So we're going to all these local businesses out here, and we went to City Hall. We're going to talk to the town, not the mayor, but the city manager here in a minute. And I might just keep you in my pocket, kind of low profile. When we do that, let's go into good vibes here. Smoke shop. I'm just stick you in my pocket so nobody has to know you guys are here with me. They're not. Are they open? Yeah, of course they are. Hey, thank you. I'm actually just petitioning today. Petitioning, yeah. We found a bunch of artifacts at a new construction site. Okay. And so they're kind of shaped like birds. You can see the head of the bird and the painting there. Mm-hmm. It's like a cave painting on a rock. There's a bunch of stuff. So I'm advocating for it, trying to get people to scan the thing and just sign the petition. There's like 20 or so on there now. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much. No problem. And you guys can keep this here if you want and show other people. They're really neat because they're a little hard to see at first, but some of these things, it's like Horus almost. Yeah. Like Egyptian stuff, so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can find anything.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. That went well. And that's how it always goes. It's always pretty chill. Hi. Good.
How you doing?
Good.
When you get in middle school,
So what is this building here? South 3rd. Courtroom. Oh, that's the courthouse, Smithfield Courthouse. Okay. Don't know if I need to go into the courthouse with these necessarily. Smithfield's a pretty nice little town, man. Got that little, you see the little llama? It's pretty. Naren Wenzel. It's an old timey town. This is how I look, if you guys want to see. Kind of want to dress up a little bit when you do this kind of thing. You don't want to look like you're all dirty or anything. People don't, because you're already approaching people, so you want to be approachable. I trimmed up my hair, my barbarian hair this morning a little bit. Here look like some suspecting folks. Dragonfly Boutique's a good one here. What's this one? Down to Earth. They're cool. They got rocks in here. Hello. My name's Don. I'm petitioning. Okay. And so I have an online petition to save a bunch of artifacts that were just uncovered in Smithfield, right here at the new Finley Landing across from the Amazon facility.
Fun.
So it's a little online petition. It's on change.org, so you just scan it, and it's really quick.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Do I keep this?
Yeah, you can have it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, those mushrooms are cute. They have some really cool stuff in there. Then we got dragonfly. I'll let the customers go in there. Don't necessarily need to hit every single one. Hi. I'm petitioning. I know you guys are busy running a restaurant, but I found a bunch of artifacts out in Smithfield at the new housing development across from the Amazon facility. And so I'm advocating for them. They have paintings of birds on them and wooden birds and just like these faces and stuff. So they're a little tough to see. You might recognize that little duck head, just a little wooden duck. So there's thousands of them there. So I'm just trying to advocate for the city to do something about it, pick them up and study them and stuff. So it's just a little online petition. You just scan it with your phone and it'll take you to, it's change.org and it'll pop up. Thanks so much. It's easy as that, guys. Easy as that. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Guardian ad litem, child advocate in court. There's the Grand Smithfield Courthouse, where my last landlord tried to sue me, and she lost. She lost. I like how there's the dates are taken off for the Kuwait-Iraq war. It wasn't. And Afghanistan still doesn't have a date on it either. That's funny. Mission's not accomplished, apparently. I think we should just take those off of there. It's not even the correct name for those wars. And it wasn't even a war. It's something different. Can't really call that a war when no one else is fighting back. When you're just dropping bombs on people, it's not really a war. They don't have airplanes. But anyway, the occupation of Smithfield. So let's see, where else can we go? Let's see. It's not a huge town, so I think we might have to just go to the other side of the road. Just hit the block here. That's what we're gonna do. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-dum-ba-ba-ba. So if you guys want, since I probably have a few of you guys in, I'll take a quick 5-minute break here in the shade. I'll check the chat and I'll read this to you. So maybe I could set this up somewhere like this. All right, so the whole thing is about these artifacts that we found in Smithfield, right? And so I'll read you guys the spiel. And if you need the link to the petition, of course, it's in my post there. I'm going to have to do another, I'll put a link to it in this video as well. So in the growing development of Finley Landing on Smithfield, North Carolina, a remarkable discovery has been made that connects us to an ancient past. Rare artifacts have been unearthed featuring exquisite designs of mammoths, prehistoric crested birds, humans, and anthropomorphic characters. Oh, a bug there. These painted clay figurines are multifaceted, showcasing several images in one, and they unlock a window into human creativity many millennia ago. So for our community, these artifacts are not just relics of the past, they are a testament to the rich history that lies beneath our feet. They offer an unparalleled opportunity to understand and appreciate the artistic and cultural activities of these ancient societies that inhabited this land. Sadly, without proper research and protection, these priceless artifacts are at risk of being lost or damaged due to ongoing construction activities. We urgently call upon the relevant authorities in Smithfield, North Carolina, as well as state and national archaeological bodies to initiate a detailed study and enact protective measures for these invaluable discoveries. Conducting thorough research including cataloging and analysis will help us preserve them for future generations, potentially lead to fascinating revelations about our shared history. By safeguarding, I already read that paragraph, sorry. Oh no, I didn't. By safeguarding these artifacts, sorry, I'm nervous. By safeguarding these artifacts, we not only honor the cultural heritage of ancient peoples, but also enrich our own community's identity and legacy. Ensuring that these treasures are protected could aid educational programs and possibly elevate our local area to a notable historic site. Join me in urging the decision makers to act swiftly and responsibly. Let's ensure that the legacy of Finley Landing is one of reverence and respect for our ancestors and their artistic expressions. Sign this petition to protect our shared human heritage and pave the way for future generations to explore and understand the history that belongs to us all. So that's my spiel there. And that's what's written on the petition, online petition. And so whenever people scan this mark here, it'll bring them right to that. Hello.
Hey.
Would you be interested in helping to save the artifacts that we found in Smithfield?
I would want to. I just don't have time.
Understood. Thank you. So, let's do this guy. Gorilla, we're in the United States. The southern United States. It's not like New York City out here or nothing. It's a little more chill. It's going to 10 story. They're open. Are they open? Of course they are. Hi. I'm just petitioning today. So we found a bunch of artifacts in Smithfield. And so trying to get the state and the city to do something about them. So they all have paintings of birds. See the little bird beak and the bird body. Mm-hmm. Some of them are just simple little, like emoji faces. And then some of the wooden birds are really beautiful.
Oh, wow, okay.
And you can see just these indigenous fellows down here with their tall hats. Little wooden ducks and things. So I'm asking people to sign the petition. That way the city can get involved with it and maybe help rescue some of these before they all get destroyed. Because right now they're just getting all crushed up. And people are stepping on them. I'm collecting as many as I can, but I figure getting the state involved and stuff. So, and there might be, on the bottom of that, it's not. I did make a couple of them that were two sides, but this is the spiel that you'll get whenever you click on the, You guys know how to use those? You just put it on your camera? Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Here, I can give you a copy of this one too, but it is online though too.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. It smells so good in here. I'll try it next time. All right. There's an attorney. Maybe, let's not waste the attorney's time, I guess. He's not going to be interested. But you never know. Like, you can't really say, they're not going to be interested or whatever. You just never know. I'm actually going to have to go back to my car and get some more. I've already ran out. What is this? Heritage Center. Commission, the Heritage Commission? This is the place. Hi there. My name's Donald Fenton. I'm petitioning to help save some artifacts that we found at a new construction site at Finley Landing, right across from the Amazon. They're a little tough to see at first, but you see the little bird head. There's like a bird painted on there, and then there's wooden artifacts. There's ones that just look like little emojis, little faces. And then, of course, there's the regular archaeological arrowheads and stuff. But it seems really old because there's a lot of mammoths and things in there. So.
At some point, you might want to speak to our director, see that over there.
Okay, yeah, I can wait.
He may already know about it, or he may be interested.
This is just me doing it, so I'll go ahead and.
Well, he would certainly be interested.
Is it okay if I just take a seat and wait?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take a peek around, I guess. Look at some of the maps here. Military map of the United States. This is cool. This is the right spot to be. Very neat. Yeah, this is actually the right spot to be. Very cool.
Nothing anchor. This is all from the last one. So this is never happened. Okay. So no, this is the last one out here. Yes. What are your trial or options?
Well, it's this is not
It's colonial. DAR magazines. The Battle of the Bulge. Under Major General Washington W.T. Sherman. South Carolina. Super cool.
Nah, it hurts well. Shit. I think we said that, but we came up with this. That hurts 6.5 days. It's saying that unless it's text, so unless it's just somebody that. Yeah. So in order to unlock it, I need to be able to. Yeah, it's still up. We don't know if it's misspelled. You can't contact a person. Okay, sure. So let's see. Subscriptions, so. What the other password would be, if that doesn't work.
Over there and go to the three dots at the top right of the front pad. Yep. Go there and go password. Password's not up at the top. Yeah, you're good. Password. It's at the top.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. And click the ancestry. And then type in your username, so it'll be first and last name. Should go to your phone. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you click the little eyeball and play with it. Okay, it doesn't look like you had to email this year, so if you want.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is fucking work. Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
You need to show.
Oh, yeah, but. Okay.
You know what? I'll swing back by. I'll swing back by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I don't have an appointment or anything, so. For sure. I'll just swing back by.
Yeah, I'll be come back.
Thank you.
Hey there, were you waiting to see me?
I can come back by though. You guys are busy.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we got an email issue that we just.
No worries. I'll swing back about 30.
Okay, very good. I'll be here.
No worries there. Sorry if you guys got really bored, but I don't care. I don't care how you feel. Because I'm out here doing the thing. And I need you guys to go sign this petition. And I need you to come out here and help me do some of this here in a minute. Like, this is the first step, is coming out here to petition. Once we get the petitions and we get more people on board, if they still refuse to do it, that's when we have to start protesting. So I wouldn't dare give the mail person another piece of paper. It's like the last thing that they want. So let's take a look over here. I saw some potential things to go to on the other side, but I want to check this out first. I mean, we could rent this building out right here and make a museum out of it. Hi there.
Hi.
I'm live streaming too, so that's why I'm. Hey, you probably don't want a piece of paper because you deal in the shipping business, but we found a bunch of artifacts in Smithfield, and so I'm advocating for them, trying to get people to sign the petition for them. If you're interested, would you take a flyer?
Let me take it and look at it,
Uh-huh.
and if I got any questions, I'll call you. Is there information on there to get in touch with you?
No, there's just the little thing to
Okay.
sign the petition, but then it has all the details about it right there. So,
Okay.
thank you so
Is
much.
that extra for me to keep?
That's for you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to swing back by the car and get some more anyway. Yeah, this is the great town of Smithfield, guys. I can check on the phone real quick and see who's in here, if anybody. Yes, got 2 people in. Thanks, guys. Hey, sorry there, Bigfoot. I couldn't really take the phone out because I don't need them knowing that I'm doing all this stuff. I don't need people thinking that they're being recorded. It's going to make them act weird. But at the same time, for my safety, I record these. Anytime you're dealing with the public, you never know what you're going to get. So you never know what somebody might say. So it's just good to COA, as they say. So that's not an entrance. Oh, this is probably the City Hall again. We'll have to see. It's a cool statue. It says, sculpture made possible by a special gift given in loving memory of Ruth Rose Wellens. The Reader is the name of this statue by Frank Greach. And it's dedicated to the families of the Johnson County, to their heritage and to their future. So it's really pretty. Looks like it's made out of copper, some type of metal. And it's a nice touch with mom with her slippers slept off, one shoe on, one shoe off. It's really pretty. Could use a cleaning, but that's cute. The nuclear family. 1 mom, 1 dad, and as many kids as you can have. At least 3. If you don't have at least 3. Okay, so this is the library. This is a place to go. All right, let's try this here. Hi guys. So I'm petitioning today. I have an advocate for these artifacts that were just uncovered in Smithfield across from the Amazon facility. When they were doing the construction there, they uncovered tons of basically cave paintings on rocks. You can see these pit birds painted on here. There's also wooden artifacts and these little wooden ducks. You can see this Indian guy down here at the bottom. So I'm advocating for it. I have a petition on change.org, and you just scan it and it'll pop right up. It just takes a couple seconds. So I appreciate it.
Oh, of course,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. And there's a lot of details. Whenever you scan it, you'll see all the details for it there too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. That's good. And like we went to these places once today, right? We can come back. It's not just that one time that you can go. You know, we can come back on Monday, see if there's different people working. Johnston County. Ooh, Veteran Services in here. Environmental health. Whoa. What does environmental health mean? Sure thing. Hi. What does the environmental health do? I guess it's a public health?
No, we do wells and septics and great restaurants.
Gotcha. Okay. You wouldn't have any interest in artifacts or the finding of artifacts? No. Would you know a good spot that I could drop off some information? What happened is we found a bunch of artifacts when they did a housing development. And so I'm doing a petition to try to get the city to pick up the ones that came out.
Have you tried down, trying to think, it's on this end, the Heritage?
I have an appointment to go back there in about 40 minutes. Yeah, that's the spot to go to though.
With next door customer service, they may have somewhere, like, I think they're the ones that do the hangings of stuff on the wall.
Oh yeah?
They might be able, or up at the very front,
Mhm.
there's a counter up front, they may be able to put it up there at those tables.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Planning and zoning. There's veterans. I'm gonna go to the veterans stuff because I'm a vet. Hello. My name's Donald. I'm a veteran, but I'm not here for veteran services. I'm actually doing a petition. So we found a bunch of artifacts at a construction site right across from the Amazon facility, and that's yours to keep. So the artifacts are really unique because they're super old. They're not just like your regular Indian artifacts. They seem to be a little bit older because they have mammoths on them. And so I have this online petition. You just scan it with your phone and it'll take you right to it. And it's on change.org. So it just takes a second to do the petition. And I could show you a few details because some of them are a little tough to see right at first. But you might be able to notice birds, like the ones, they're just like little emoji. That's a little duck, yep. Mm-hmm. And it's neat because they're kind of like puzzles. The one on the bottom left is also a bird. You can see it's just like a profile shot of a bird with the crest. See how detailed they did it. So they're incredibly preserved because they were all packed in clay. And you might be able to see the painted bird on the large picture there. See the red one?
Oh, yeah, I do see it.
Yeah, as it takes a minute to see them because they are so old, but I think they're really fascinating. And believe it or not, that one with the red bird, that red bird is actually on a person's face. So there's a whole human character in there as well. Yeah, so as you start to look at them, you'll start to see more and more. It's a really beautiful style of art.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot more details whenever you scan the...
How'd they happen to come across those?
So they just, when they did the construction site, they did, it was all flattened and the artifacts weren't there, but then they dug these trenches for power lines. And when they did the trenches, outside of the trenches came all these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're all rainbow colored, as you can see. They're all really colorful.
Yeah.
And they're painted purple, orange, yellow. Some of the media itself seems like It's like a clay. It's a clay material. They're not rocks. They're actually like a pottery, and they're super light.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
if you're interested, I'm going to be probably back down this weekend to give some out to the people, but I wanted to come down today to go to the offices. But I'll bring a couple. Maybe Monday I'll bring some because I know you guys probably aren't open on the weekend. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're not.
So maybe I'll drop one off on Monday.
Alrighty.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's all the ones that we have for the pictures. And all we have now is this. So I kind of think I want to go back to get the ones with the pictures. Hopefully I have some more. Public utilities operation, engineering, construction. Hi there. My name's Donald. I'm just petitioning today. We found a archaeological site during the construction of Finley Landing across from the RDU 2, I think it is, across from the Amazon facility. And this is not the right spot to be. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just petitioning to see if anyone's interested in trying to help save these artifacts. So there's an online petition for it. So
I'm thinking.
maybe you'd be interested. So
No, so there is a SHPO. Have you talked to them, the State Historic Preservation Office?
oh no, where are they at?
They are not in Smithfield, they're the state offices.
Oh, the
downtown
State
in
Historic.
Raleigh. But look them up online, they actually will get involved in things like this.
Oh.
And you are in Smithfield's jurisdiction there, so it doesn't really have any much to do with the county. But the Smithfield office is all right across the street.
Right. Okay.
Planning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, you'll get those experiences like that too, where people really don't want to. They just look at you like you're crazy, you know, and that's what happened just there, right then and there, as they just made me feel like an idiot. But at the same time, I have to blame myself a little bit. I am a little nervous. My brow is probably sweating a little bit. I've been out in the street, you know, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. But hi there. Would you be interested in trying to help save some artifacts that we found? So there's a construction site that is in Finn Landing down there in Smithfield, and what we found are a bunch of stones that have like cave paintings on them. And I had a big thing with all the pictures. I got to go get some more. Hey, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So what we're trying to do is just get the town of Smithfield to collect what came out and just study them because they're really interesting. And so it's just it's just on a change.org website. You just scan it with your phone and it'll make this a quick petition. But but you can keep this. You can take it home and do it whenever it's more convenient for you.
Okay.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. So it's at the Finley Finley Landing. It's right across from the new Amazon facility, or the Amazon facility. It's that new housing development there. So when they did all the construction, they did the trenches, and all the artifacts came out after they did the trenches. Yeah. So very interesting. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks. What's that?
That's a good thing.
This is so we found a bunch of artifacts, and I'm trying to get the city. The city doesn't want to do anything about them, of course, and so I'm trying to get them to protect them and study them.
Oh,
So the
okay.
artifacts have like human beings. They're all Indian artifacts, like
Okay.
birds and stuff like that. If you're interested, you just scan it with your phone, and it'll take you right to the link.
Okay.
That's for
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's head back to the car. Sorry, guys. I know you guys hate me. No one's watching anyway. That's okay. I probably could have been a little more systematic about the way I did this, but we'll figure it out. I don't want to. I should probably just hit every single place. But you also got to follow your feelings, your feelers. So some of these, like the diner, probably wasn't a great place to go into. They're busy. They're cooking. They're not going to remember this piece of paper unless somehow it, remains. Oh, that sucked. So you guys were all zoomed in. I know how to live stream. You don't know how to live stream. I know how to live stream. I have a gardener museum. I have a gardener. 55 days at Peking. The Battle of the Gorillas. Ooh, Have a Gardener was a sweetie. The Little Hut. Oh, look at the little guys down there. That's cute. They're staring up at her. And then Pandora. Ooh. Now showing. So that's the town hall where I'm going to go here in a moment. We're going to culminate with the meeting with the town manager, city manager. All right. Let's get some stuff over here. Try to get some more of my leaflets here. I only got like 1 or 2 left with the pictures on them. That stinks. I should have brought more. Why didn't I just bring them all with me? Oh well. Okay, all set. You know, it'd be neat is if I can do this. See if I can do this without dropping everything. That works. Is that gonna work? No, that's not gonna work, is it? I can do this. I can do this. All right, I'm sorry, guys. You're just going to have to go back in the pocket. It's just too much for me to try to keep it all together. Now, these ladies in the town hall took one of my good ones, and I'm going to try to get it back because I don't need to give that same office 2 of my best ones. They only need 1. These things are valuable. So we have the city hall there. Let's go see what else is down this way, I guess. We haven't been down this way yet. JoJo's Jiu-Jitsu and Ladybug Designers. I don't know, is Ladybug's open? Ladybugs might be interested. Oh, it says it's closed. They'll be back later. Okay. I don't think there's too much else over on this side. Better just stick into the historic area. Historic downtown. Yeah, let's stay in historic downtown. There's not too much on the other side there. So far, so good. Smithfield was established 1777, as you can see. And the big river out here is, of course, the Haw River. So it's really amazing. Like people, it's just such a small place. So you go and you give some of these out to people. Like you saw at the library, they come back out, they follow you back out. And if they'll find you again and be like, hey, I just signed that. That's a really good petition. Like people, it means something else when you actually show your face out here. You come out here and do this yourself. It's one thing to just do a little online petition, but when you got boots on the ground and you're walking in the street, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. And if you want something done, you have to take it to the street. You have to. If you know that your government, local or otherwise, is doing something wrong, you got to take it to the street. And this is wrong. It's wrong to let these just get destroyed and stepped on and crushed up continually, especially after they've been made aware of it. It would be a different thing if they didn't know about it, but now they're aware of it. And so the people that get this type of material from me, they're going to know that, hey, if it continues to go on, it's because they didn't do something. So it really encourages them to sign, because they don't want to stand by, and it's not going to cost them anything. The same goes for you. If you're watching this and you have not signed the petition yet, go sign the petition. It's right there on my post there. It only takes 2 seconds. Probably could have pushed the cross button. Wait. Look at that. Imagine that. You push the button and the light changes. Who would have ever thought? Shackle hell. Resilience martial arts. Investments. I probably could have combed my hair today. Oh well. Twisted willow. This will be a good one. Hey, it's going good. Oh shoot, I already gave you one, didn't I? No, I haven't been in here yet, have I? So I'm petitioning right now. I'm giving out petitions to try to, sorry, I'm a little out of breath, trying to save these artifacts that were found at a construction site in Smithfield, right across from the Amazon facility.
Okay.
So this is the one that I have that has pictures. It's the only one I have left that has pictures on it though.
Okay.
So I can give you this one, but we can take a look real quick. So they have these little paintings of birds, you can see.
Oh,
And some of them are just like little emojis, and some of them are made of wood, and they're really well preserved.
Right.
So they were all fine in the ground, but when they trenched for the power feeders, all these colorful clay objects started coming out. And so, as on closer examination, you can see the little paintings of birds there. You see the bird head and the rest of the bird behind it. And then, of course, there's a little wooden duck there in this photo.
That's crazy.
Isn't that neat? There's a little Indian here with the right side
What
profile.
are they trying to build there, should I say?
So it's a housing development, and so, yeah. But they're going to build it no matter what, and it's private property anyway, so there's not too much the state can do about it.
Right.
So what the petition is really trying to get people to do, or get the state to do, is to take a couple of the artifacts and recognize them. That way, when we encounter them again, we can collect them as they pull them out.
Yeah.
It's not trying to stop construction necessarily, even though I don't like it either.
No, I'm just tired of it.
Yeah, everyone needs a brand new house. I know, it's crazy. But, yeah, that's kind of this. And then there's some more details in this one here too. That's what is on whenever you scan it with your phone. It's on change.org. It's just like a free online petition. It only takes a couple seconds too to do it.
Okay.
But I would leave this with you, but it's my last one. But if you guys think you need it or want it, you can have it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
That would be great. Thank you. They said they were going to put it up so people could see it. That's good. That's nice. This isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be bad, but it's actually, the response is a lot better than I thought. Law offices. Skipping the law offices. So we went into Good Vibes already. Raymond James. Municipal bonds. I mean, they would probably take them. Of course, Under the Oak, I think, is a restaurant. Oh, catering. We're not doing that. Crack the code. What's this? Oh, the theater. That's a theater. That's a nice little church there. All right, I think it's time to go into City Hall. And shoot, I don't have, well, I've already left one at his desk, so we're good to go. He's got one already there waiting. Soda Sopa. You guys know the South Park, right? Soda Sopa. He's like the guy who owns this restaurant's a big South Park fan. So he named the restaurant Soda Sopa. Pro wrestling. Craft beer and wine lounge. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it'd be neat just to rent one of these buildings and just have like a little, we could rent one of these buildings probably or one of these offices, maybe $600 a month. It wouldn't be very pricey, trust me. And there you go. You want your portable museum. We could do it in any one of these small towns. It's just, you know, can't expect it to be super busy. It would be just kind of like a niche kind of thing, but it'll happen one day. We'll have a brick and mortar museum. Maybe one of us will strike it rich and we can just buy a building. Or we'll put a building on someone's property, I don't know. Kind of has to be zoned for commercial though, I think. And then at this thing we could do, people think I'm talking to myself, they think I'm crazy. And I am, I guess. I am talking to myself and I am maybe crazy, who knows? Who am I to say? So City Hall is this way, I think. I don't remember. There's the Heritage Center, so we can go back there. Let's go back into the Heritage Center. We'll cross at the crosswalk. Really wanted the pictures to show that guy though. Let's go to City Hall first. is on the registered historical places. Hi. All right, here's a town hall. Whew, now I'm covered in sweat. Wearing this monkey suit. Hello.
Oh, okay,
Is he back yet? Yeah.
well, he came and he left.
Oh, okay, no
He
worries.
looked at the sheet.
What's that?
I said, he looked at it,
Okay.
but he went back and he's doing a whole bunch of stuff today.
No
But
worries.
If you want me to, I'll try to see if I can find him.
That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I left one in his box as well for him.
Okay.
I'll have a seat.
Okay.
So we're going to visit the town manager right now. It's pretty good collage. Pretty good. Some of these I could have done without, but you never know what's going to reach people, so. Oh, I wish I wasn't sweating like a pig. Whoops. Hi, Brooke.
He said you got 10 minutes, he'll be there in 10 minutes.
Okay.
So he's talking to somebody and trying to finish up something, but anyway.
All right. No problem. I was going to run down to the little historical building as well down there.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm afraid if I leave, he might get busy again, being it's Friday. Seems like Friday's the
Yeah,
day.
'cause it'd probably take it wouldn't take 10 minutes. Probably wouldn't take you 10 minutes to walk down. It might take me 10 minutes to walk down there.
It's getting hot out there, so it will.
I just saw, when I was telling them that they were laughing at me, but when I was in high school, I found some Indian marbles, or at least that's what my history teacher said, back where they got Floyd's Landing.
Oh, wow.
down there.
Yeah.
And my brother always found arrowheads.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I'd have took more time. I didn't know everything would be tore up one day, because I don't make time to find some stuff,
Yeah.
But
I have a bad habit of finding them at construction sites, which, yeah, that's where I go to get them, because they clear everything out.
they don't care. They're clear. I mean,
And it's easy to find them there because it's all open. And they level it. And, yep. And these ones, there's thousands of them more still underground. And the purpose of it is just to get the state to recognize them. That way, when they pop up again, we might be able to collect a few and study them. Because they're almost, the way they did them, they made them like books. So it might be like a round one, and then you take a sheet off, and then it has an image on it on both sides.
Oh, wow.
And then you take another sheet off, and it has another. And the art is sometimes hard to see, but the way that they're all made by the same artist on these ones, it makes it a little easier because you kind of pick up the styles.
How'd you even figure out stuff like that or get into?
So going out into creeks and rivers about 3 years ago, I found some pretty incredible ones that
Oh,
have
wow.
faces on them. Yeah, and so
That is cool.
it's been just my hobby kind of. And then when I found these ones, I thought, well, these are a little bit more special than the rocks that I was looking at before because these are clay pottery,
Yeah.
and they're painted white, black, red, and some of the rocks, the rocks could be artifacts, but it's hard to prove that they are.
Yeah.
Because they might not have the tool marks on them and stuff that the archaeological people look, but these all do. And so it makes them different because they all have the napped edges and the paint on them and stuff.
Well, I know when we moved here in '72, and I remember everybody telling us that, like where there is Floyd's Landing and back where pretty much Amazon is, that was all Indian a long time ago.
It is, yeah. The geography.
My brother's out there looking, sure enough, he always found arrowheads.
That's exactly where this is at, right across from that Amazon.
Wow.
Right by the airport there.
Yeah.
Yep. And the geography, you could look on the maps and you see all the holes. It's like a swamp back there, so I think they were mining or something they were doing out there, creating little holes in the pockets. It looks like it's been all trenched up in the woods. It's like a swamp, yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
I hate us all being tore, but you can't do nothing about it. Once people sell their land,
Yeah,
it's a free-for-all,
right, that's it. And this is private property, and so it's not like the state can really go and do anything about it. They can't tell them to stop or anything.
Yeah.
So I have that fully in my head, I know, but I just want them to, if they pop up again, because some of these are really beautiful, they're colorful, and to have them in our schools, to have kids to look at them, and
Yeah.
I think if we take a good look at, the people that were here before us, we would do a good job of taking care of the land we now, because we have a big responsibility to take care of this beautiful, beautiful country that we have.
Yeah, and hate to say it, but I mean, people, these contractors, they just want to make a buck, and they're not thinking, they're just building as fast as they can and digging up stuff, and they don't.
It's Lennar
they
Homes.
tearing it up and-
Yeah, Lennar is a huge company, and Lennar, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but that company is just there. I think they have their hands in every single housing development. So the last place that I'm going to go is to their office and tell them about it because they don't want to hear about it.
No,
Yeah.
they're gonna say, no, we just want our money and get out of here, and then they go somewhere else.
Right.
Tear their town up.
Right.
But,
It's really the state archaeological and the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. It's really their responsibility. Yeah.
Wish they, I just hate, because like when it does get to where people are interested, it's gonna be gone.
Right.
Up and-
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we want to just save what we can when we find it. And
So, is there anything Mike can do about it, or?
well, we have the petition. They just sign it online. It only takes 2 seconds,
Oh.
and sometimes it even autofills your name and stuff. You just hit sign, and then
Yeah.
it's over. It only takes like 5 or 6 seconds to do it. So.
So if he put it on our town website, we'd see it. And-
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if that would happen though, because it is not going against the state or anything, but the state is saying, "Oh, these are just rocks, and they're nothing." And so, and not the states, like not everybody in the state, but
Yeah.
the archaeological people are, and it's because they kind of have a habit of having to deny these, because archaeological projects have been stopped in the past for these types of things, and news agencies actually used to cover it, but I've called a lot of the news agencies and they don't even cover this stuff anymore.
That's
Yeah.
odd. I would think they would. Yeah,
Right.
have news.
Well, maybe they will after the petition gets a few hundred signatures. Maybe that'll encourage them to do that, right?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How can I help you?
My name's Donald Fenton. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with
Mike
me.
Scott.
Mike, pleasure. So, I study archaeology in North Carolina. Started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And so I go to construction sites, look for arrowheads and things like that. And I was down here in Smithfield. I live in Clayton, so I saw that new housing development up at Finley Landing, and they were doing these. They leveled everything, and nothing came out. But I noticed when they did the power trenchers, all this colorful pottery started popping out. And so you may have taken a peek at some of the pictures. This is for you to keep. I also have one in your box there too.
I haven't grabbed it.
But they might be a little bit tough to see, so I could kind of show a few of them. But here, look, I can have it like this. So you see the little bird head there. It's kind of like a cave painting on a rock. You can see the whole orange bird. And then, of course, we have little arrowheads down there. And then just like little emoji kind of characters. And then these wooden birds. So it takes a minute to kind of see them, but they're just little wooden birds. See the beak and the crest there? It's kind of a full, like a profile shot of a bird.
Okay.
Yeah. And see the beak and the eye and the crest on top there? It might be tough to see that one. This one might be easier.
I think I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. These are little duck heads too, just made out of wood. And then, just painted pottery. So this is all like a clay pottery. They're not actually rocks. You can see perhaps these little faces on these. And some people, like the archaeologists, call it pareidolia. But the Indians, they put faces on stuff. They did. And so I have an online petition just to try to get the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to recognize the artifacts. And that way, next time they pop up, maybe they can collect a few and teach people about it, because I think it's important. I think it's really rare. I study this archaeology stuff, and these are very rare. I think it's a really fantastic find for our county. And because they're really just cave paintings on stones. And we could have them tested to find out how old they are. But right now, we're not able to do that because they're not recognizing them as artifacts. So that's what the petition is about.
Okay.
And it's on change.org, so you would just scan this, and it pops up, and then you just sign your name on it. But,
Okay.
and then it has this little spiel with it, too, which I can give you a copy of this, too. But this is on the website, and it just kind of talks about the artifacts and why I think they're important, for our community and for future generations to learn about. They're very unique, and I don't think any other place in the world has these cave paintings like this.
So you think this is all stuff from Indians that were here?
Yes, early Indians, the people that lived with mammoths, because there's mammoths, there's elephants on these. Yeah, and that's why they're hard to recognize, because they're so old. And what you find is after you start looking at them for a while and studying them, they become easier to see. You start to see the styles that they had.
Sure.
And stuff.
So educate me a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Were there times when mammoths were in this area?
Oh yes, yeah. There was actually rhinoceros here too, woolly rhinoceros.
Really?
There were a lot of animals here 12,000 years ago. Yeah. The last woolly mammoths died only 4,000 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't.
I didn't know exactly what I knew. They were, one of the last things to disappear.
Right.
Yeah. But I always thought they were where it was really cold. So it was really cold here?
No, they were just what they called they're from South American, what do they call them, Panama mammoth? I forget the name of it, but they weren't the woolly mammoth. They were just like the smooth skin mammoth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they roamed all over.
I did not know that there was a smooth skin.
Yeah. So they have the woolly mammoth, which is like the Arctic mammoth. And then they have another one I forget the name of it. It's some country in South America.
Okay.
They call it that type of mammoth. And they have a plains mammoth as well.
Really?
So there were a couple different types, yeah. And I don't know everything about it either. There's a lot to learn about it, but because it's funny to think about the thousands of years that we have to history, and for me, it's sometimes hard to wrap my mind around it.
So all of this came from the Finland landing site?
That's correct. Yes. Yep. And I haven't told. I was thinking about going up to the office and letting them know, but because I feel like kind of trying to get a petition without telling them that they're there is kind of dumb. So that's my next stop, is to go over there and talk to them. But I don't expect them to do anything about it because they're a housing development company. And so, but, I might be surprised. So, but I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're very busy. But
No, I appreciate the education.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Pleasure. It was good meeting you.
All right, you too. Have a good weekend.
You, sir. You too. This one back here. Perfect. I'm going to take this one back. Yep. Thank you. Have a good one. Did you get a copy? Yeah, let me give you one here.
You want me to make a copy? I can make a copy.
Oh, would you like to? That'd be great. Because this is my last one that I have pictures on. I ran out of ink, so making copies is expensive. with all those pictures, I burned through my little home printer, burned through my ink cartridge after 10 sheets. So. You can make a couple if you want to. Thank you. That's very sweet of you.
Oh, I hope I hit full color.
It's okay either way. Thank you. That's very nice of you. If you want to take 2 or a few, if you think there's some other people that might be interested. Oh, you can. That's true.
They're turn out black and white, so you probably don't want them.
Well, I'll take them just in case. Just in case. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck. Keep on collecting. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. I appreciate you. You might see me around again. I'll probably keep on running around, and I'm going to try to talk to some people on the weekend tomorrow and see if there's more people in town too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Thank you. All right. I don't think we could have done any better than that, guys. I think we just freaking killed it. I think we killed it. Okay, now we got to go to the historic. Is it muted? Was it muted? Was this muted the whole? Oh, geez, the screen's off and it was muted. Fabulous. I have no idea what's going on right now. Jeez Louise. I'm sorry, guys. I hope we caught that. Either way, if we didn't catch that, that's fine. It still was done. But it would have been nice to catch that on recording, because that was really nice. Everyone was really good and cool. So I'm really happy. All right. I'm not going to put you guys in my pocket anymore. This is ridiculous, because it's messing everything up. So I apologize for that. That's our spiel there. Our collage. Kind of sit here for a second. Show you guys some of these cool pictures. Isn't that neat? That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, I guess I deleted somebody's message. I did not need that. Did not mean to do that. Bigfoot New York Todd. I'm so sorry. I deleted his message. He's probably like, what the heck? All right, guys, if you're just showing up, let me know that you're here. How you doing there?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir. I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Sorry. Probably not here. It's downtown here. I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. If you just joined in, we're about to go into the historical commissioner's building. whatever it might be called. We just had a really great meeting with the city manager of Smithfield. He seemed very interested in this. And the office ladies, of course. We have visited the library. Well received everywhere so far. So, pretty happy about that. Like we said, we're in the beautiful town of Smithfield here. A lot of brick buildings. This is a historical district. We're sitting in front of the museum. There's the town hall there. Yes.
This is the address, John Country.
Municipal, let's see. Oh, that's the museum. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it shouldn't be there. Let's see. Try, well, volleyball. No.
No.
Sorry, I don't know where it's at. I'm not from here, so I don't really know.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Good luck. All right. Let's do this, guys. This will be our last meet today. So again, if you're just joining, we're out in the streets petitioning for the artifacts that we found here in Smithfield. We have an online petition. It's on my post, and it takes just a few seconds to sign it. So, a fire truck coming here. Woo-wee. A loud one. It's a loud one. All right. There's the library, which is a really nice library. Told you I wasn't going to put you in my pocket anymore, but I think I have to. When I get into this building anyway, I'm going to have to. All right. Here's the Heritage Center.
Wait to cross 3rd Street. 3rd. Walk sign is on to cross. 3rd. Walk sign is on to cross.
All right, here we are at the Heritage Center. Let's go see what they have to say.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry I was tied up. I think we got our issues resolved.
Sure.
What can I help you with?
So I'm petitioning. We found a bunch of artifacts at a new housing development in Finley Landing that are really unique. And I study archaeology. I've been doing it for about 3 years now. And the artifacts here that we found are unlike anything else that I've ever seen in the world.
You know, there was a cemetery there that they moved.
Right? Oh, wow. Was there? Here's some photos of some of the artifacts that we found. So there are a lot of birds, and they're very old. They have mammoths on them, so they might not be easily recognizable at first, but I can point out a few of them to you.
For goodness sake.
So you see here the bird head, the beak coming down, and then the bird body, the red bird there. And you can see there are some traditional arrowheads and things out there as well, but they're paleo style. This is actually a portrait of a mammoth, although it doesn't look like it in this. You'd have to see the whole thing, but the ear is actually removable, and you can flap the ear. And they're clay, they're pottery, and they're all painted. So here we can see that some of them just look like little emojis, just little faces. And then some of them have these, these wooden birds, so like profile images of birds with the eye, the beak, and the crest there.
Wow.
And some of them are anthropomorphic characters, so they're birds and humans, and that's what this one is. But a lot of them are hard to see at first. These two little white eyes are actually just a little image or a little character on that clay pottery piece. So they're multifaceted, and they have not just one statue, but maybe 7 or 8 statues in one piece. And that's what makes them really unique. And a lot of ancient art is like that, where it has a few different images on one stone.
Wow.
And so I'm advocating.
So how did you become aware of this?
So I go to construction sites and look for arrowheads and stuff like that. And there wasn't much there, but when they trenched for the power feeders, that's when all these came out. So they're a little bit deeper than the regular ground because they leveled everything. Yeah. Then when they trenched for the feeders, they dug about 8-9 feet in the ground. And that's when all these colorful purple and red and orange rocks or clay pottery pieces came out. And you can see the different types of material. There's yellow material, and you can see the blackened section is all burnt there. And these are, as weird as it sounds, that's just a little face in there. There might be a couple of them, but that's what these represent.
So that's probably an effigy stone, maybe?
Yeah, that's what they call them, effigies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And what's neat about them is once you start looking at them a little more and you start studying them, you start to pick up on the art a little better. So you see how that bird is on there, just blazoned on there. But actually,
how big is this piece?
It's very, very small.
Oh, okay.
Very tiny.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And this piece is actually gone now because they break very easily. They're extremely fragile and brittle. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And some of them are colored like rainbows. They have black, red, orange, and yellow on them. So I started the petition to try to get the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to at least accept a few of the samples that I've collected, or maybe collect a few themselves. That way when they pop up again, we can collect them, because it is private land. I understand that I don't want to stop any construction or anything, but I just want to make the county aware because I think it's a really great find for our city. And
yeah, well, a lot of people don't know this, but when Smithfield was first settled, there was a burial mound right in the center of the town. I think it was on the site where the Wells Fargo Bank is located.
No kidding. Wow.
There was a hotel built there in 1902, and they called it the Tuscarora Inn. And I think some of the old timers who were around at that time knew some of the lore about the Tuscaroras, and I don't know, but I'm guessing maybe that's why they call it. Anyway, but we do have an 1805 geography book that talks about the beginnings of Smithfield, and it says that the part of the burial mound was still visible in 1805.
Oh wow! I did not know that. That's interesting.
16. Let's see, what did it say? 16 feet tall, 90 feet circumference.
Wow.
Pretty good sized little burial mound.
Wow.
And of course, people dug into it and got things like this out, and there were human bones.
Mm-hmm. There's bones at this one too.
Skeletons.
I throw the bones in the woods. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. There's rib bones and things. You can tell a human bone from an animal bone by the smoothness and because the animal bones have chunks. But I don't really talk about the bones too much. And whenever I find them when they're trenched up, I just throw them in the woods. Yeah, because it's just something you don't want to mess with too much. Yeah.
Well, we're trying to create greater awareness of the Tuscarora, especially.
Mm-hmm. And the Okanishi too. Yep.
Yeah, they were more, west of Raleigh.
Yeah.
The Hillsborough
area, right?
Area. That's where the Okanishi. This was Tuscarora territory.
Okay. And the Tuscarora were really territorial, from what I understand.
Yeah.
People didn't mess with them; they were kind of violent.
Well, yeah.
That's what they say.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
They say a lot of things.
Yeah, that's very Eurocentric.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but their people were being killed by disease unintentionally, I guess, but also they were being captured and sold into slavery and things like that. So they were on the defensive.
Right. Yeah.
For 50 plus years.
Wow.
Before they were finally forced out.
Wow.
During the Tuscarora War. It's funny. I'm actually the Tuscaroras moved to New York near Niagara Falls, and they have a reservation up there. They're part of the sixth. They're the Sixth Nation of Iroquois. And anyway, I'm actually going up there in July. They had this big annual picnic that they've been having for about 160 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going up there. But
That's
they're
great.
very interested in Johnston County and their connections here, because a lot of people who still live on the reservation and who have family connections there probably have ancestors who came from here.
Right.
Yeah, so they're very interested in stuff like this. And I don't know if you've been to our county museum down the street.
You actually have it on the back of that one. I gave you one of the best ones.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Thank you
So it has
so
all
much.
the information on there.
Let
Yeah.
me get your contact information if you don't mind.
Of course, yeah. I'll have to write it down there, but I got a pen.
Yeah. You have a pen?
I do. I have one.
Okay.
I just got back from City Hall talking to the city manager.
Mike Scott?
Yes.
He's town manager.
Town manager, yep.
Okay.
He-
Selma has a city manager, Smithfield has a town manager.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. But the town manager was very receptive, and he was really interested. He took a little bit of time with me this morning to
We got
chat
a
about.
grant from the state for the America 250 celebration, and we are in the process of reallocating some of that grant money to do a Tuscarora mural in downtown.
Oh, that'd be
Smithfield.
great.
And,
Oh, I might be able to
right now,
volunteer for
plans-
that. That would be cool.
Plans are to do it on canvas and attach it to the Howell Theater down the road.
Right.
But anyway, I'm waiting to hear back from him, but the same artist who did the Ava Gardner mural, which is excellent.
I saw that. Yeah, it's
well,
beautiful.
He's interested in doing this one. He really wants to do it.
Wow.
So I hope it's going to work out. So over the summer, we may have a Tuscarora.
Very cool.
But, yeah, I've never seen anything like this.
It's like a cave painting on a rock, and I study this stuff. I don't think anywhere else in the world has these types of things. It's a really great find for our state, and it could elevate this area to a historical site.
Well, there's a site in Clayton they're trying to protect. It's off Barber Mill Road, but we're pretty sure there was a substantial settlement there. And,
Yeah.
All the effigy stones that we have on display at our museum down the street came from this one site.
Oh, wow.
There are about a dozen or more.
I gotta go check those out. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
go
them.
check them out. There's a lot more. We only display, a lot of Native American displays have thousands of pieces, and people get overwhelmed. And
Right.
So we just got a few pieces.
Take the best of the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of the most interesting things on display.
Some of it's hard to see too.
Yeah, but I think this was a major center because it was right on the Neuse River.
Oh yeah. hmm
And this was.
The water was where they lived
When the Neuse
at.
River was actually used for navigation, this was considered the head of navigation on the Neuse. People really couldn't bring any sizable boats past Smithfield. They
Right.
tried to get boats, the cargo boats up to Raleigh, but they never could.
Oh, the rivers are just too
Smithfield
small.
was kind of the shipping point for this part of North Carolina, for railroads.
Right. Right.
And of course, it had to be, they could only bring the big boats in when there was a swell, when there was a heavy
Oh, wow.
rains.
Is that
So
close,
A good
yeah.
part of during a good part of the year, they just didn't have boats that came to Smithfield.
Wow.
But one of the big annual events was in the spring, when the boats from New Bern would come, they would bring oysters, and they had big oyster roast down on the village green.
Oh,
on
wow.
the river, and so there's a lot of history here with the river.
Definitely.
But with the Tuscarora, and
Right.
the Tuscarora may not have been here for more than a few hundred years. We just don't know.
Right. Right.
We just we don't have written history, so
Right. Yeah.
we know that they were here,
Mhm.
and they were here
Just a
long
long
before
time.
the Europeans.
Right.
And there's oral history that's been handed down in the Tuscarora families that that they were here longer than they're given credit for, but
Right.
But there were Native Americans. There were people here.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of years.
Thousands and thousands of years. Yeah.
And then the Tuscarora came later. The lore is that they were separated from their people up, I guess, up north, New York, wherever, and the rest of the Iroquois settled there, and then the Tuscarora came here.
Ah, so they are Iroquoian.
Settled. They're Iroquoian, like
Gotcha.
the Cherokee.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a fascinating, tragic story.
Right. Right.
But this
I
is
think
this
learning
is all
about
that
this-
there is really.
Right.
There's not a lot of writing. There's some like oral history that was handed down, and some written accounts, mostly from the English viewpoint and Spanish viewpoint. But
Right. I
there's
just got
not
into
a lot.
learning all about the Spanish conquistadors, and
They came through here.
they came through. Yep. And the accounts of it, how they said village after village, and just thinking about that, and
And the English were supposed to have been a little bit nicer than the Spanish, but I don't know. The more I read,
right.
maybe
Yeah.
they were, but the Spanish were not very.
No, the Spanish were
kind.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, they did come through. There are accounts of them, traders, Spanish traders coming through this area in North Carolina.
What was that fella's name that really did the first tour through the Spanish conquistador? I forget his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. He's the one who went through North America.
DeSoto?
DeSoto,
Probably.
that's him. DeSoto.
DeSoto, yeah.
Yep, you got it. Yep. Yeah, I just couldn't think of.
John Lawson, if you're interested in
Mhm.
Tuscarora and Native American history, John Lawson was an English surveyor who came through here in 1700, 1701. He actually lived around Newbern, or between Newbern and Bath maybe, but he was an explorer, surveyor, and he was sent here to basically do a reconnaissance tour of North and South Carolina and report back to the lords proprietors in England
England, okay.
who owned Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And but he spent a lot of time with the Tuscarora and some other natives, and wrote this journal. We have a first edition journal on display in our museum.
Oh, wow.
It was
I know who
published in
John Lawson is,
1709.
but I don't know all his history.
And
Like,
there's also the reprints of the journal, but it's fascinating.
I need to look at the journal.
Yeah, we actually have copies. It's kind of a synopsis type copy or an abridged version of John Lawson's journal. It's on for sale in our gift shop. So.
Oh, okay.
But it is fascinating reading, and he was eventually executed by the Tuscaroras.
Oh, wow.
Because they saw the handwriting on the wall. He went to London, published his journal, came back over here and brought de Graff and Reed and the founders of Newbern. And, they captured him and de Graff and Reed. De Graff and Reed talked his way out of captivity, but they executed Lawson, and that kind of was the beginning of the Tuscarora War.
Oh, wow.
And that was the beginning of the end for the Tuscaroras in North Carolina.
Yikes.
But
Wow.
we think, there were two main factions. One were the ones who took up arms against the colonists, and I think the ones in Smithfield were part of the warring faction. And then there was another group up around Edenton, that area, who were probably mixed race. They intermarried with whites, but they did not. They remained neutral and did not take up arms. So they were given a reservation. There was actually a Tuscarora reservation near in Bertie County, near Windsor, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
In the 1700s into the early 1800s, they eventually sold the land and went up to New York and joined their cousins near Niagara Falls.
Interesting.
Lot of history.
There is a lot,
A lot on the Tuscarora, but
So we just have the petition.
Every time I see ground being excavated for subdivisions and new commercial and industrial projects,
I cringe, yeah.
Yeah.
I look at the
wonder
waters and everything.
How much of this type of stuff is being destroyed?
Right. Yep. Well, I've been at it for 3 years.
Have you talked to somebody at the archaeology office?
So the archaeologists say they're all just rocks. That's why I'm doing the petition. Yeah, they say they're not artifacts; they're all just rocks. And so I told them I could bring you some. I give, we have the Archaeological Research Center in downtown Raleigh. So I actually went for a tour at the center. So I have a few contacts there, and I asked them if I could bring some, and they said no, they don't meet the archaeological providence, and so they're unlike any other artifacts that they have, so they're not going to accept them. And I didn't like that answer, so that's why I'm doing the online petition.
What about East Carolina University? Have you?
I haven't tried them yet, no.
Call them.
Yeah?
Call their archaeology.
East Carolina?
East
Okay.
Carolina.
I will.
It's always good to get a second opinion.
Right.
I'm not an authority on native artifacts.
Right.
I have to trust other people's knowledge and expertise.
Mhm.
I really don't. No.
Right.
When I see a pottery chart, I know what that is.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and an arrowhead, I know what, I can recognize that, but, other things,
They're not familiar. They're uncommon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially these
yeah.
ones. They're very unique.
But, so East Carolina spearheaded the excavation of the Fort Nearuka site near Snow Hill. That's where the Tuscaroras made their last stand in 1713.
Okay.
And there were close to 1,000 Tuscaroras that were palisaded there, and they were either killed or captured. Some escaped, we think, and ended up with the group that went to New York, but a lot of them, hundreds were killed and hundreds were captured and sold into slavery.
And they excavated
But
that
they
site.
excavated that site.
Fort Nutarka?
Fort Neharuka.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. How do you
Neharuka.
spell it, Mark? How do you spell Neharuka? Fort Neharuka.
Give me at least a.
It's N-E-O.
Oh, Neo, huh?
I just saw it.
H.
Neoheroka.
Oh, wow. There we go. That sounds good.
Yeah, there's a historical marker. That,
Okay.
you can probably find some YouTube documentaries of some of the excavation. And I know the Tuscaroras in New York came when they did some sort of ceremony there a few years ago.
So I don't mention it too much because YouTube, it's like whenever someone says, oh, I'm on YouTube, and everyone's like, ah. But I do have a YouTube channel with 2,750 subscribers on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so on these ones, I actually put, you could find me on YouTube. So
Okay.
that's my YouTube channel, Faces in the Stone. And it's not going to be on that one, but I'll give you this one too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay.
And so I'm on site actually showing the artifacts. I go to the site and I show them live and I interpret them as well. So if you get a moment, you can actually go on the website and see them firsthand.
Okay.
Now, I warn you, some of them are really hard to see. And since I've been studying this for several years, to me, they're very easy to see. And so there's going to be some things you won't see, but then there'll be others you do. And some things you'll see that I won't see. And that's kind of the nature of the art because they are, 10 different statues in one. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to discredit the folks in Raleigh. They probably know what they're doing, but they may not know as much as they think they do.
The thing about it is I've been kind of, they kind of already know me from doing this for 3 years. So when I told them about this, they're like, yeah, you've told us about other stuff before. And so I try to tell them, no, these are different. These are special because I was studying the rocks and the rocks are a little harder to prove because they might look for tool heads or tool marks and things like that. There's a lot to unpack. I have been doing it for 3 years. So the first site that I found was in Alamance County when they destroyed a mound behind my house. So I just went out looking for arrowheads, and instead of arrowheads, I found a bunch of quartz with paintings on them and statues of human beings on quartz. So I still have thousands of those, but I pushed all that aside when I found these, and now my big focus is on trying to get these recognized because I think these are much easier to see for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just wondering if maybe the folks in East Carolina have seen things like this. And maybe, yeah.
Definitely.
They might be a little less dismissive.
And then I was thinking too, we have a college here in Smithfield as well, right?
Yeah, it's
like a small one.
Community college.
Right.
But they
might not have
don't
archaeologicals.
Have a strong, no, they have no archaeological curriculum.
So I was thinking about going to UNC and just like finding the schedule and standing in front of the archaeology class. Here, kids, check it out.
UNC, but East Carolina, UNC. I'm trying to think. I think UNC Wilmington has an underwater archaeology.
Oh yeah, underwater probably wouldn't be interested though.
Anyway.
Thank you so much for your time.
Try East Carolina.
I sure will. I got it written down here.
I used to know Dr. Charles Ewan. I think he's retired now, but he used to be in charge.
David Cranford's the assistant to the state archaeologist right now, and he's the one he's basically told me to stop sending him emails and everything. And I told him, you work for the state. I'm going to keep on sending emails. If I find something, I'm going to send it to you. Yeah. But since he's the assistant to the state, and we just now got a new state archaeologist, the position was vacant for a while.
Right. There's a guy named Chris that I talked to.
I bet you that's the new state archaeologist. I want to set up a meeting with him and talk with him.
He's really nice on the phone. I've just talked to him on the phone.
I've got to get a hold of him.
Really nice.
I'd love to do a meeting with him because I kind of burned my bridge with David Cranford, and we shouldn't be personal about this. It's about history and saving it for our kids and stuff. So, and we have Vince Stephanopoulos over at UNC. He's encouraged me a little bit as well. So, I have some people that are encouraging, but the archaeological profession in itself is kind of uptight.
This was 25 years ago, I guess. We had the former state archaeologist to come out and look at a colonial site near Clayton, and he basically told us that we're not going to spend too much time in Johnston County. It's just too close to Raleigh. We have small staff. We have to spread ourselves all over the state, and Johnston County is just too close to Raleigh, so we just don't have too much time.
We have so much here in Johnston County.
But it's like, hey, he told us that. They just don't have time to devote to some stuff in Johnston County.
Yeah. At least we have the hobbyists to do it.
Yeah. We have an archaeological firm in Clayton, and they, do work for a fee.
Oh, do you?
They don't. I don't know that they really specialize in the ancient. Well, maybe they do.
They would be interested if they do it for work. They would be interested. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I might just give them a call, but I won't expect anything.
I know they came and did some work in a slave cemetery out on Cleveland Road, and were able to determine the perimeters of the cemetery. It's in the middle of a new subdivision, and the owner, the developer, was thoughtful, kind enough to actually he hired them out of pocket, hired them to come and
survey.
do the a survey and do, I don't know if they did the ground penetrating or not, radar, but they did remove some layer of ground. I went out there and looked at it, and you could see, you know, where the baby graves were. You could see the discoloration of the soil. And
Oh, wow.
You can see, you know, the small graves and you can see
Okay.
the larger graves.
Amazing.
They just kind of, removed the top layer and were able to determine where the slaves.
And so then they put a little fence around it, I'm sure, or kept
It's
it.
protected. It's
Yeah.
it's surveyed, and we at some point we really need to put some sort of monument
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Right.
It's fairly large. It's
Wow.
probably 100, maybe close to 200 graves. So.
Wow, that is a large.
Yeah, there are a lot of slave cemeteries all over Johnston County. Well,
Wow.
everywhere, and most
Yeah.
of them are unidentified.
We had one in
abandoned sites that nobody knows about.
in my neighborhood in Tennessee. We had one right by the house, and every Sunday they would block our driveway. Everyone would come in and fill it because everyone would go visit and stuff at the cemetery.
They
They-
have markers with inscriptions.
Yeah, they actually had markers. Some of them just had a stick, and then some of them were unmarked. There were a lot of them that were unmarked, but the place was fenced off and stuff.
Most of the ones here are just unmarked graves. Sometimes
Right.
you find field stones at the head of the grave.
Right.
A lot of those.
Just
and a lot
one,
of them
yeah.
have been destroyed by developers doing new residential subdivisions.
Right.
Quite sure.
Yeah, they don't really stop. They just kind of, if they see something, they just cover it up. They don't want anything to stop it. Yeah.
Oh, I've known unscrupulous people to take headstones with inscriptions and push them off into the woods or bury them or haul them off. Oh yeah, that happens.
Ooh.
That's why we're trying to document as many cemeteries as we can.
Yeah, that way if one
So that,
disappears.
and we're trying to get them marked on GIS so that if somebody tries to develop a property, there's the red flag with the planning department.
Right. Excellent.
We're trying.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a limited staff too.
And that's what
we do what we can.
Exactly, and that's what it is. We can only do what we can, right? Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure.
Pleasure. Yes,
I might
sir.
come back and see you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this information.
You're very welcome.
Reading over it.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. All right. Worst live stream ever. Sorry, guys. Or sorry, person that's watching. Can't exactly hold this phone up in the guy's face as he's explaining all this stuff to me, so I really should come up with a better solution so that the phone doesn't go blank like that again. But if you guys are catching the replay, maybe it'll be watchable. I don't know, but if it's not, I'll just make it private. But hey, I appreciate you watching, and I know someone just joined, but we're done. So don't forget to sign that petition. It's in my post. It only takes a few seconds. It's just a change.org petition. And you just click on the link on my post there, and it'll pop right up, and it takes 2 seconds. It really does. All right, folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day.